Buena. They beat an undefeated team. Joe Vaughn, the winning coach, with every reason to be proud of his school and certainly of his players. The final score once more, Buena 50 and formerly undefeated Grant 43. They are the Division I girls champions here in Los Angeles. We'll be back.
Hey, here's some UCI Sports Magazine.
Look at the color pick.
Omni, Mike Walden, and Pete Newell. We are at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. These are the state high school basketball championships. Well, the Division I girls championship is now history, and Buena is the winner in that one. And now, Dan, we look forward to the boys championship. These are two very good teams, Bishop O'Dowd out of Oakland and the Crenshaw Cougars from just up the road a couple of miles away.
Well, both teams have had outstanding years, Barry. Bishop O'Dowd 33-1 for the year, and they've won 31 straight. Crenshaw High School is 27-2. Both of their losses coming by 1 point. So this should be an outstanding basketball game. You're going to see a lot of talent out here on the floor tonight.
A couple of particularly outstanding players in this ball game, too. Eric Holloway, number 32. He is a great player. Number 33, John Williams for Crenshaw. Holloway for O'Dowd. Crenshaw for Williams for Crenshaw. Should be a good one. So it's Bishop O'Dowd versus Crenshaw. O'Dowd with just the one loss, that coming to Fremont in the third game of the season. And they avenged that loss by a very big victory over Fremont by 18 points to win the Northern California title. Crenshaw, on the other hand, just with the 2 losses, Dan Balwamini mentioned that a moment ago, each by 1 point, one to Banning. They got into this tournament actually by being an at-large bid, and they went on to win it. They beat Mater Dei, who was ranked 8th in the country in overtime in the semifinal, then beat Long Beach Poly handily in the final. Two teams who deserve to be here, having at one another in the state high school championship. Bishop O'Dowd has had only one tournament game decided by less than 18 points. That'll give you an idea as to how well they're playing. And Coach Willie West, on the other side for Crenshaw, has won 6 sectional titles. We talked about the coaches' records in the girls' game. How about these records in the boys' game? Mike Phelps, the coach at O'Dowd, 152-19 over 5 years. Willie West in 12 years, 258-33 at Crenshaw. We'll be back right after this commercial word. The Shaw, representing Southern California. Classic duel. Looking forward to this one. And right now, for the introduction of the lineups, let's go to the public address announcer.
Now introducing the starting lineups. Starting at forward for the Bishop O'Dowd Dragons, number 22, a 6'3 senior, Ron Testa. Starting at forward for the Crenshaw Cougars, number 24, a 6'4 senior, Gregory Bragg. Starting at forward for Bishop O'Dowd, number 24, a 6'3 senior, Kevin Moss. Starting at forward for Crenshaw, number 32, a 6'4 junior, Brent Hassan. Starting at center for Bishop O'Dowd, number 32, a 6'6 senior, Eric Holloway. Starting at center for Crenshaw, number 33, a 6'7 junior, John Williams. Starting at guard for Bishop O'Dowd, number 21, a 6'1 junior, Craig Wallace. Starting at guard for Crenshaw, number 21, a 6'3 senior, Howard Lothridge. Starting at guard for Bishop O'Dowd, number 15, a 6'1 senior, Tony Ronzoni. Starting at guard for Crenshaw, number 14, a 6'1 senior, Ellis Scott. The coach, the Bishop O'Dowd Dragons, Mike Phelps. Coach of the Crenshaw Cougars, Willie West.
So what's left then is to play. Simply play the Division I Boys Championship, and we'll be back to do that right after this. Don't go away. We're coming back to the Sports Arena in Los Angeles for the game between O'Dowd and the Shaw. So it's O'Dowd and Crenshaw for the Division I Boys Championship. You're going to see a couple of outstanding players, as we mentioned. Number 33, John Williams for Crenshaw. Number 32, Eric Holloway for Bishop O'Dowd. It's not to take away from everybody else on the court. You look at the officials, Ron Souza and Bob Mose. Jumping center, Gregory Bragg, who's really a forward. He will jump against Holloway. They don't jump Williams, even though he is bigger than Bragg. Bragg at 6'4" will jump against Holloway at 6'7". And we're underway, and Bragg controlled the tip. I mean, he gets up. Here's Williams, and he can shoot the lights out. A little bit short on his first try, and a rebound comes down to Ron Testa. Testa at 6'2", one of the better leapers on O'Dowd's team. This is Ronzoni outside. 21 is Craig Wallace. O'Dowd a little bit deeper perhaps than Crenshaw. Here's Testa underneath, and it's a little bit long. Holloway has the rebound. Jump hook won't go. And finally comes down in the hands of Kevin Moss. And batted around now, and coming down with it finally. Ahead is Brett Hassan. Hassan off of the pass from Gregory Brock. This is Hassan up top now to Ellis Scott. Scott swings it around for Lockridge. 21 is Lockridge. He'll play the point. Jump shot put up by Scott. Has it. And a whistle blows. We got a block foul on Lockridge. So Ron Souza making that call early. The officials sometimes will do that just to try to take control as quickly as they can.
Well, let's see if this works now, Barry. All right, now Crenshaw going to do a three-quarter court press. All right, let's see. Bring it back out, O'Dowd, and set up your offense.
This is Ronzoni at the point. Swinging around now for Craig Wallace, 21. Back up for Moss, 24. Ronzoni guarded very closely by Ellis Scott. This is Moss. He'll take the jumper from 15. It's no good. Fights for the rebound. Two O'Dowd players around there. One Crenshaw player, and it's going to be inbounded by O'Dowd off the hands of Brent Hassan.
Hassan went after the ball strong on the ground. Here you're going to take a look at it again as the ball went in the air. Pretty good jumper right there. It didn't go down. Watch Hassan go after it, and the ball goes off of Brent Hassan, and Bishop O'Dowd will have the ball out of bounds under their own basket.
Ronzoni inbounds for Moss, swing it over to Wallace. Here's Ronzoni with the open jumper, a little bit short, won't go. Williams has the rebound. He will often bring it down all by his lonesome. Instead, he goes ahead for Hassan. Hassan gets the baseline, now back up for Williams. Here's Scott, 14, really up on top of that jumper.
Barry, that was great ball movement by Crenshaw. Now they're going into a 2-2-1 full court press. And you're seeing a lot of quickness out here in this floor tonight, and both teams are playing, coming out playing very strong at the early going.
Both teams extremely well coached also. There's a touchy foul called by Ellis Scott. Does that not happen, Dan, that the officials will just say, okay, look, we're going to control this thing, then we'll let you play?
Yeah, Ellis Scott doesn't really make a bad foul right here. It's an over-aggressive foul, and you're right, Barry. Sometimes in the early going, the referees will call a few of those fouls just to let them know who's in control of the game.
Tony Ronzoni, number 15. Interesting note, 4 of these players play on the baseball team by Bishop O'Dowd. They opened the season earlier this week, so they doffed the baseball gear and donned the basketball gear. What it did do was it had Mike Phelps' practice schedule be a lot lighter than it normally would have been. Ellis Scott tries the high bank shot, it won't go. Comes down over to Hassan. So Crenshaw will get another chance at it. This is John Williams outside, and every university looking at him.
And he's only a junior, Barry. And, of course, Bishop O'Dowd playing man-to-man defense, and Crenshaw was in a 2-3 zone when the last time O'Dowd came down.
Scott behind a screen, and Moss gets a hand on it, picks it off. Kevin Moss with a good effort that time, just anticipating where the pass was going.
And you alluded to this earlier, that a lot of these players are on the baseball team, and I think the baseball team is also coached by Mike Phelps. So he's won a lot of games out there at O'Dowd in a lot of different sports.
Can't very well get mad because your guys are missing basketball practice for baseball. Holloway misses 2 tries, and Crenshaw comes out of it 2-on-3 to the basket. The foot race block. The Bragg can't get it to go.
Well, Gregory Bragg made a good drive that time. Should have made it with the left hand, but took it with his right hand and missed the shot. If he switched over to the left, he might have made that shot.
A little bit chancy, actually, as O'Dowd did get back on defense. And it was a 2-on-3 break.
It looked like that time down the floor there was a foul called inside on Ron Testa for swinging an elbow, and Crenshaw will have the ball out of bounds under their own basket.
Pretty physical game and a very up-tempo game early on here.
Not quite the tempo I think that Bishop O'Dowd wants to play. I don't think they want to get into a running match with Crenshaw because they can really move. O'Dowd needs to control the tempo of the game.
Ellis Scott, 6'1", a senior. averaging 9 points a game. They actually get fairly balanced scoring, even though Williams averages in excess of 23 points a game. Scott and Lockridge really will alternate the point guard role. Jumper put up this time by Lockridge, and he has it.
Lockridge, fine jump shooter.
Trapping press, and now they beat the press, and here's Wallace coming to the basket, gives it up for Holloway. Turnaround jumper, a little bit short, won't go, and the rebound comes down to Lockridge. Ahead this time for Bragg to the hoop. Stuff!
All right.
They will do that about 10 times a game, and we're going to get a T for hanging on the rim.
Well, what a great stuff by Gregory Bragg. Here you're going to see him coming in right now, and let's see if he does hang on the rim. Boy, he is way over the rim, and he does hang on the rim. Good call by the official. That was very emphatic, that stuff, as a matter of fact.
That really was. They do that, as he mentioned, an average of 10 times a game. So that'll give you an idea as to how many fast breaks Crenshaw gets. It was a good one that time. And Gregory Bragg obviously can jump. At 6'4", he jumped center and out-jumped the 6'7" Eric Holloway of Bishop O'Dowd. So 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. And it's an 8-2 ball game. Crenshaw leading O'Dowd. We'll be back with more after this.
You know how it goes after a couple years with the same guys. You swear you'll keep in touch, but before long, with one thing and another, you lose track of them. But not Phil and me. You know, we'd both rather take a beating than write, but we still...
So Crenshaw comes back on now as Bishop O'Dowd, you see, having all sorts of troubles getting the ball to fall. 1 of 8, while Crenshaw with a couple of fast breaks, 4 of 7. And the scoreboard indicative of that. Crenshaw leads it 8-2.
And this will be a one-shot technical, which is missed because it was not a flagrant technical, and it was not on the bench. So Bishop O'Dowd will now get the ball out of bounds. But the one thing is, the 1 for 8, Barry, is because they've taken shots on the perimeter, and John Williams has really clogged up the middle. Crenshaw presses, but Williams stands back there and says, come on in and take it. And he's kind of blocked the middle, and O'Dowd has not gotten a lot of good shots in the first quarter.
It is interesting to me how some people just look like players, and John Williams looks like a player.
He definitely looks like a player. And I think Crenshaw has more than one player out there. They have 3 or 4 people that are going to go ahead and play college basketball.
Yeah, that's what they were saying, that this is not at all a one-man team, even though the numbers may be dominated by one man. They really do have a very solid team, Crenshaw.
Crenshaw zoning the out of bounds right here. And that was an over-aggressive foul by Crenshaw, but they will zone the out of bounds and try to clog the middle. It looked like it was a foul on number 32, Brent Hassan.
That's the first team foul on Crenshaw, although I thought that there was a 3rd team foul on Crenshaw, beg your pardon.
And in high school basketball, you do shoot 1-on-1 on the 5th. So Bishop O'Dowd just has to draw a couple more fouls, and they'll be going to the line.
And O'Dowd passing well around the perimeter. This is Ronzoni.
Great quickness by Crenshaw on the zone. Look at the way they work on that zone. They are really working hard.
Ronzoni gets a step, can't get the shot to follow. 1 for 9 now for Crenshaw, rather for O'Dowd. And a foul is going to be called again. It might have been an exasperation foul.
It was on number 15, Tony Ronzoni. Here's Ronzoni, who leans in, doesn't really even draw the iron, and on a frustration foul, he comes right back to try to swipe the ball and commits a foul.
Substitution coming on for O'Dowd. Number 25, Brian Shaw, coming into the lineup. And he replaces Craig Wallace. Wallace has played a little bit out of control here.
And Bishop O'Dowd has played 9 to 10 players the whole year. You won't see the starting 5 stay out there for the entire game. Good steal.
Handing it away this time, Ronzoni, and he's gotten a couple of those. 4-on-2. Ronzoni to the basket, can't get the roll. Holloway follows.
That was a great steal by Ronzoni and a great follow by Holloway.
And coming
right
back the
at
other
you.
way. Transition game, I have an idea, is going to be very important here tonight.
Crenshaw didn't waste any time. Gregory Bragg took the ball all the way down and went to the basket, and Holloway made a frustration foul himself. He went after him viciously and caused the foul. You're right, the transition game is devastating. When you score against Crenshaw, you'd better be alert because they'll come back right at you fast.
Holloway, who is the guy that O'Dowd looks to get the ball to when they can, averaging only 13.3 points a game. I say only, even though he's very highly recruited by many, many universities, including UCLA down here in Southern California. As you look at the bench.
And there's Coach Mike Phelps with his hand on his chin. He's done an outstanding job at Bishop O'Dowd. Coached at St. Joseph. There he is again, right in the middle with his hands folded there. And he's just a fine basketball coach.
To finish that thought about Holloway, even though he's averaging 13.3 points a game, it's because they have 10 players averaging in excess of 5 points a game. And again, the defense of Crenshaw bothering O'Dowd. Tested to the basket.
Here's the transition game you were talking about. Look how fast Crenshaw brings the ball up the floor and gets back in play.
And that time O'Dowd did get back on defense. 9-6 ball game. Very up-tempo game.
Well, both teams are really working hard on defense. Both teams are playing very good defense.
Jump shot is put up by Bragg, or rather by, it was Bragg that time. And here's a jumper from outside, and good by Howard Lockbridge.
Lockbridge, a fine jump shooter. That's his second bucket. Now Bishop O'Dowd needs to take this to the basket if they can get it in.
And Holloway does that reverse layup.
He did. When you break the press, Barry, it's very important to take it to the basket, especially in the early going, if you have numbers. And they had numbers that time.
O'Dowd actually has had a few breaks. They've had 3-on-2s and 4-on-2s on a couple of occasions. They had a 3-on-1 that time.
Well, you're gambling when you press full court. You hope for a steal in the backcourt. But once you penetrate past half court, the offensive team does have an advantage.
Crowd is really alive in this ballgame. Also, Williams, nice touch.
Well, you can see how he's averaged 24 points a game through the year, and he's just a fine perimeter player. And there's a jump ball called by referee Ron Souza.
Mark McCathrion comes in for Bishop O'Dowd as they continue to substitute liberally here.
You'll see 9 or 10 players for Bishop O'Dowd.
And substitution coming on for Crenshaw also in just a moment. Brian Shaw will come on, or rather Brian Edwards will come on. Brian Shaw is already on for O'Dowd. Jump ball at the free throw line. And coming away with it is Brian Shaw for O'Dowd. Ahead for Anzoni, but in the path will Ozella Scott come the other way. Another stuff by Bragg.
Bragg likes that shot a lot. Did you notice?
He does. It's a high percentage shot.
It's a very high percentage shot.
So O'Dowd comes the other way. 15-8 ball game. 7-point lead underneath. McCathrion can't get the roll. And once more, Crenshaw will run. Here's Bragg. Williams to the basket. Come the other way. Testa. What a tempo this is.
It's too fast for Bishop O'Dowd. The tempo is too fast for him. They're playing right into Crenshaw's hands. And I don't think you can play up-tempo basketball with the Crenshaw Cougars. You want to see a lightning fast break? Take a look at this one right here. Crenshaw on the dead run. This is number 24, Gregory Bragg with a two-handed dunk. I thought we might see Williams. Then they came right back, and John Williams going to get a dunk. Here's the play underneath that the foul is called. Good pump fake inside, and Williams will pick up the foul.
Crenshaw even burns it down when they just inbound the ball with no pressure in the backcourt. They want to get the offense started. Brian Edwards, he's got some pretty good size, too.
Good steal.
And this is Brian Shaw the other way. And there's another stop.
I've seen a lot of stuffs in this game. This is a high school game, and we've seen more stuffs than most college games.
That's 4 so far in this ball game.
And we're only in the first quarter. It's 30 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Andre Counts outside now. He gets it up front for Stephen Ford. Now back to Counts.
Let's see if they play for one shot. Willie West stood up and said one. They're inside of, they're about 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. What they should do is look to shoot it Barry with about 5 seconds to go, so it gives them a chance to rebound if they miss.
Stephen Ford, number 10 of the ball right now, gets into the lane, starts to put it up, now doesn't, gets it back for Williams, who forces it.
Shot.
What a shot.
Tough shot.
That's the kind of shot where the coach, I'm sure, gets up off the bench and says, why you? And by the time he gets the words out, it's down. 19-10 ball game, end of the first quarter. Up tempo to be sure. We'll be back. This is Lavaji. And back for Brian Shaw, and the pass goes astray. Wallace saves it. Underneath to Holloway. Great pass. Holloway puts it up and in.
Great effort by Holloway and a good pass inside. O'Dowd needed that basket to start the second quarter because they were down 9 going in. Now only 7.
6 for Holloway in the ball game so far. 12 is Andre Counts getting some playing time, and fast handing it away was Mark Lavaji. but it'll be inbounded by Crenshaw.
I think Barry, a critical element of Bishop O'Dowd's success throughout the season has been their ability to substitute, but not only to substitute, but have the substitutes play well. They've contributed in scoring and defense, and that really helps your starters when they can sit on the bench and then come back in fresh.
This is Counts, number 12. Back up top now for Stephon Ford, and now to Williams. And Ford, playing point guard right now, has not seen a lot of playing time this year for Crenshaw, getting some early time here. Back up for Counts. Andre Counts, number 12. And he forces it inside. A good pass, actually, for Richardson, who misses the shot. Whistle blows, and we're going to get an over-the-back foul called. I believe it's going to go against Michael Richardson, 31, but could also be against Brian Edwards.
I think it was an over-the-back call. You're going to see it inside here. Pretty good shot, actually. Ball should have went down, and you'll see number 42, Brian Edwards, come from behind to cause the foul. That was Brian Holloway with the ball.
And Crenshaw substituting once again, and they will now come with their first unit as Hassan comes on. Bragg comes back on.
That was the 4th team foul on Crenshaw, so Bishop O'Dowd will be shooting 1 and a bonus on the next foul.
Lavagie to inbound, does so for Brian Smith, now ahead for Wallace. 2-on-1 for O'Dowd. Wallace to the basket.
Great move, Barry. Wallace took it right in on John Williams and scored right over him. Psychological play for O'Dowd that they can't take it in on Williams.
Well, they also had Holloway hanging on the baseline. It was a good play by Williams, or rather by Wallace. Howard Lockbridge, good shooter for Crenshaw, worked on by Wallace right at the moment.
Howard Lockbridge just looks like a fine all-around player, a big 6'3" guard, and I'm sure you'll see him someplace in college next year.
There are a lot of players in this game. Here's Williams, the jumper. Has another.
Pitcher shooter, good rotation. He keeps his arm in, and that's why they play him on the perimeter so much. 24 points a game.
8 points for Williams on 4 of 4 to the best of my knowledge.
He should probably shoot more, huh?
Yeah,
good
I would
pass
think
inside.
So. Very good pass underneath, but the shot was missed by Gray. And we'll come the other way. 7-point lead. Crenshaw can stretch it to 9. This is Bragg. Scott. Lockbridge. And now Hassan back to Lockbridge. Underneath to Williams. Turnaround jumper in the face of Holloway.
I think this Williams is a pretty good basketball player. What do you think, Barry?
Not a bad player so far. And this is not unusual for him. He was 10 of 12 from the floor in the championship game against Long Beach Poly. Shaw can't get the roll. He could have taken another step, actually.
Well, John Williams intimidated him, and he took it outside. Good move inside by Holloway, and he's fouled. It looked like Lockbridge inside fouled him. Strong move by Eric Holloway. You're going to see a big-time move right here. Watch the pass inside Eric Holloway. He'll spin on the baseline and use his body and try to get the ball in, and he's fouled from the rear by Harold Lockbridge.
Give you some idea as to just how well this team, Crenshaw I'm talking about, does run. They shot 72% in the championship game against Long Beach Poly in the southern section.
Of course, Long Beach Poly, one of the fine teams in the South down here, as was Mater Dei. Mater Dei was rated very high throughout the whole year. And, of course, they have so many playoffs that there were so many good teams down here. But Crenshaw came through as an enlarged team. They lost the final game to Banning, and here they are in the state final.
Holloway puts his 7th point through. We billboarded this game as being won between two good players, Holloway and Williams, and it certainly has lived up to that so far.
I think the impressive thing about both teams is that you have two outstanding players, but each has a very good supporting cast.
To be sure. Holloway converts both ends. 23-16 ball game. Here's Williams, the trailer now. He gives it back up for Lockbridge. And Lockbridge gets away with one there.
Now, he's so quick, Barry, that he made a mistake, and his quickness just overcame it, and he went just got the basketball and started over again.
42 is Edwards. In the corner now is Lockbridge. Starts to the baseline, drives right into a man. No whistle, though. Wallace was the man he drove into, and Edwards with a garbage shot. Here's Wallace ahead for Shaw. Shaw gets into the lane, across the lane, puts it up with the left hand, and almost got it to go.
Brian Shaw made a pretty good move driving to the basket. He took it off balance. So here you're going to see Brian Shaw with the basketball, and he takes it all the way in the middle. Look, fakes a pass, and then goes ahead and tries to float one up and does not get the roll, but he'll go to the foul line looking to shoot 2 free throws.
O'Dowd, we talked about the shooting percentage of Crenshaw, and obviously that is indicative of getting a lot of fast breaks. O'Dowd shot 54% for the season.
Well, both teams, when you get to the finals of the state, you know, both of these teams probably have shot a lot of basketballs around the perimeter and around the inside area, and that will create your percentage to go up. 25 for Crenshaw, 17 for Bishop O'Dowd, with 4:38 to play in the second quarter.
And a good rebound underneath by Gray. Tries to force it up, and he draws another foul. So that will send Chris Gray, the 6'2 junior, to the line.
And that foul was on Brian Edwards. And this is a way for Bishop O'Dowd to get back in the game. They're down 8. And if they can make their free throws, they can get back in this game in a hurry.
Second personal foul on Bragg. Give you an idea as to how deep this Bishop O'Dowd team is as Gray misses that first free throw. They can't be doing that too much. Willie West on the other bench. And what a record he's had in 12 years. 12 league championships. He coached the JV team until a couple of years ago. The JV team, Dan, to give you an idea of how deep this squad is, has lost 5 games since 1971.
Since 1971. That's a pretty good record.
Not bad.
There's a travel. O'Dowd is staying with their man-to-man defense. They're staying with their substitutions. What's worked for them all year. They just need to slow down Crenshaw. They can't get into a running race with them.
Started to talk about how deep O'Dowd is. The fact that they literally play a 10-man starting lineup, if you will. They get an average of 26 points a game from their second 5 players, and that's got to help. Holloway, turnaround jumper, gets his own rebound, tries it again, he's fouled.
Good effort by Eric Holloway, and he was fouled inside by number 14, Ellis Scott. Holloway is a very tenacious, tough player around the boards. He's very determined when he gets it inside, and certainly you're going to see the name Eric Holloway somewhere in the lights next year.
So we have a timeout on the floor. I have to say that I haven't seen a lot of high school basketball this year, but this is some of the best high school basketball I've seen in a long time. A lot of quality players around. 25-17 ball game. 4 minutes, 6 seconds remaining in the first half. Talking, as you look at the turnovers, or will look at the turnovers in just a moment.
Yeah, that was a lot of turnovers. If those are
I was going to say, I don't remember seeing 42 turnovers. We were talking about the fact that there are a lot of quality players in this ball game.
Certainly there is, Barry, and there's the turnovers right there with Crenshaw with 5 and Bishop O'Dowd with 3. Not a lot of turnovers really for a quarter and a half. But there are a lot of quality players. We were just mentioning that you may see each team probably has 4 or 5 players that can go on to play college basketball. In O'Dowd's case, some of the players are better baseball players than they are basketball players. I think Testa and Ranzoni are better baseball players than they are basketball players.
So Holloway converts both ends. 10 points for him in the scoring chase. Williams also has 10. Williams 5 for 5 from the floor. This is Lockbridge outside. Tries to force it into Bragg, but getting a hand in the way was Moss. And coming the other way, there's Williams with a great play. Takes it to the basket, has it, he's fouled, it counts. What an effort by John Williams.
Super effort by John Williams. Great steal. Watch the steal by Williams. Here it is right here. You look like you're going the other way. Now watch Williams turn around, anticipate the pass, deflect it, and now kind of draws everybody's attention and comes right back to the basket to float it in off the glass. He's certainly a quality player.
Comparisons, and I'm sure they're inevitable, being made to Marcus Johnson, who played his high school basketball for Coach Willie West here at Crenshaw. A little tough to compare somebody who plays for the Milwaukee Bucks to someone who's a junior in high school, but nonetheless.
Well, there are not too many better forwards, I would think, in the state or in the country than John Williams. Just after watching him the brief amount of time I have right now, I'm sure that he will be on everybody's wanted list next year.
Hard to imagine that he has another year of high school ball left. He is a good-looking player. He's one of those guys who looks good in the locker room.
They're working hard on that zone.
There's Moss with a shot. It won't go. Holloway fights for the rebound. Has it taken away from him by Lockbridge. For a guard, Lockbridge is around the ball a great deal. Here's Eric Scott coming the other way. Up and no good. Ellis Scott, I beg your pardon.
Well, here you're going to see Ellis Scott with a jumper. Now watch number 24, Kevin Moss. It looked like Kevin Moss pushed off. And Crenshaw will go to the free throw line shooting 1-1. Number 31, Michael Richardson. Thank you, Barry.
And his shot is up and crawls over the front rim.
Well, Crenshaw's opened up a 10-point lead. There's Willie West. There's Willie West with the clipboard, who has to feel pretty good right now at 29-19. Going for 30.
6 city championships for Willie West. Runner-up 3 times in his 12 years here at the Shaw. Ronzoni gets the baseline, gives it up on a fine pass to Holloway, who turns around but called for traveling.
That was a good pass by Ronzoni. Holloway just couldn't handle it and ended up walking. Watch Ronzoni drive the baseline, and he'll give it up right here to Holloway, who had a pretty good shot but just fumbled the ball and couldn't hold it. Call for walking.
Ellis Scott listens to the word from Willie West. West actually very quiet on the bench. Lets his assistants do the yelling and screaming. This is Lockbridge in the lane with a jump shot is Edwards, and he can't get it to go. Holloway with the boards. Quick outlet pass to Ronzoni. Both these teams extremely well coached. Ronzoni picked clean by Scott, but he's whistled for a foul.
Scott made quite a defensive move on Ronzoni. I thought he almost did have a clean steal that time. Take a look and see if he did get a clean steal. Ronzoni switch dribbles, brings it over to his left hand. Watch the quickness with Scott. Watch him come from behind. Hard to tell from that angle, but it looked like he got a lot of ball, didn't it?
Sure did. Instead, the 3rd personal foul against Ellis Scott. Scott very much a factor in the championship game against Long Beach Poly. Had 14 points on a 6 of 7 shooting night.
Yeah.
Free throw try is no good, and Williams has the rebound, and here comes Scott the other way for Crenshaw.
Bishop O'Dowd, Barry, can't afford to miss too many one-on-one free throws. When they get to that line, they need all the points they can get. There he is again. Well, he's unbelievable. Is he going to miss one tonight?
He has got a great touch,
He's putting on quite a show.
So with his 6 for 6 tonight, 7 for 7 tonight, Dennis Mnuchin, my brains down here for many years, correcting me once again.
Looks like we're going to get a pushing foul on Brian Edwards inside away from the ball.
I was going to say with Williams shooting 7 for 7 tonight, and he was 10 for 12 in his last game, so he's 17 for 19.
And a lot of those shots have not been what you call gimmies. He's made some shots around the perimeter. Of course, he's made a few dunks and a few nice inside plays, but he's just a beautiful shooter.
And he plays both ends, too. Holloway gets the roll, 11 points for Holloway.
What I like right here is that they have John Williams standing in the midcourt area on a free throw, Barry. They don't even put him in there to rebound. That's how much confidence they have in their other players.
With 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining and a 12-point Crenshaw lead. Shooting percentages from the line for O'Dowd. They are 6 of 11 so far. Crenshaw 4 of 5. So they're going to have to start doing a little bit more at the free throw line.
Well, I think really right now, let's see if we can listen in to one of the 2 huddles. There's Willie West.
Ball to him. Grab the ball. Go down here. All right. Now, I want the guard here. Ball, instead of passing back out, I want you dribbling out of here. Get the ball in, pass it. It's on. Whatever's on, it's on. Pass the ball to the inside of him. Hands open. All right. If it's open.
I never have understood all of that.
Well, it was very difficult to tell in that particular analysis there, but it looked like he was trying to diagram a play, and he wanted the ball to go to the forward, and the guard's going to run to a low post, Barry, and then they're going to come down and screen for him. That's what it looked like, but we can see it looked like an offensive play, and we can tell the next time down the floor when Crenshaw comes in on offense.
So Craig Wallace, the man you just saw for just a moment going to the basket, and that coming on the rebound of that is what accounted for Eric Holloway's being at the free throw line. Second try is up and good. 12 for Holloway. And Williams brings the ball up for Crenshaw.
Now he's going to run the offense. Now here he goes. This is what we were talking about. There he is running low, and see if they go down and screen for him, which they're doing. They're going to pop Williams out.
And Holloway fought through the double screen to get to Williams. So
well,
the best laid plans.
Actually, O'Dowd defensed it pretty well. Now they're going to run the same play again. Williams is going to go down to a low post, but O'Dowd does deflect and steal.
And this is Moss for Ronzoni, but getting back on defense very effectively was Michael Richardson. I like the way Crenshaw gets back on defense.
Well, they're so quick, Barry, that they have great skill, and they can run, and they do get back. Now they're going to try the same play again, the one that Willie West diagrammed. He's going to hit and go around the center, except O'Dowd is pressuring that lead, and they can't get the ball. Now they're going to try it on the other side of the floor. All right, now watch him screen down. Here it comes. There it is right there. Now that's the play diagram.
And Williams took the baseline and couldn't get the roll and crashing to the boards. We're going to get a jump ball called as Brian Edwards really slammed the boards there.
There's John Williams faking, bringing it to the baseline, and going ahead and shooting it and missing. His first miss of the night, incidentally, after 7 or 8 straight.
It also might have been his best percentage shot of the night.
It was a great shot, and they ran the play right. The coach can't figure out why that one didn't work.
Here's Ronzoni all the way to the basket by himself for 2. And it's a 32-23 ball game.
They're going to try it again, Barry. Here they are again.
Do it till we get it right.
That's right. Well, they have a 9-point lead. There it is inside. I'm sure he likes that shot better, but that was
Holloway really snuffed it. Holloway very much holding his own against John Williams tonight.
Here you're going to see Holloway come from behind and just knock it out of bounds. Of course, Crenshaw with a 9-point lead with 42 seconds to play before the half. I'm sure would be happy to go in with 9 and try for 11, but they just threw the ball away.
Second time they've done that. This is Moss, gets into the lane, kicks the ball out of bounds, and I believe this will be inbounded by Crenshaw. It will.
Good call by the official, right on the play. Well, they're going to play Williams at guard again. Now he's about 6'8", bringing it up the floor.
And he looks like a guard, too. I mean, he's just every bit a basketball player.
He's a mini Magic Johnson.
It really is. Actually, facially, he resembles a guy who played for you, Guy Williams. But he's bigger than Guy Williams. Stockier than Guy Williams.
Of course, Guy Williams went on to play at Washington State and about the same size. Actually, Crenshaw's been in a little bit of a slowdown. Here he is right here. He gets a pretty good shot, Williams, on the baseline. It just does not go in. That's his second straight miss, so he's in a real slump.
And it'll put Ron Testa at the line now for Bishop O'Dowd. These are potentially a couple of pivotal points for O'Dowd here.
Absolutely. 14 seconds to play in the half. O'Dowd can cut the lead to 7 if they can convert these 2 free throws.
And Testa gets the roll.
And Barry, that doesn't seem like a heck of a lot, but Crenshaw was on the verge of blowing them out. They had a 12-point lead, and it looked like it may go to 15. So Bishop O'Dowd can kind of regroup if they can just close it.
And Testa converts the second one, made the good adjustment on the second free throw. 12 seconds now, 10 seconds remaining in the first half here. This is Lockridge, cut off at the baseline, turns around, forces it up, a little bit short, won't go. And O'Dowd has a second to try this one and just misses on the try by Brian Shaw. So as he mentioned, it could very well be a pivotal 2 free throws that Ron Testa put up with 12 seconds to go in the first half. So we come to the end of the first half with Crenshaw on top as they have been all the way, 32-25. We'll be back with more.
What'll it be today, Merrow's full serve or self-serve?
Well, Jill, my stand on the issue is quite clear.
Issue?
Well, historically, I have chosen full serve and delegated problem areas to experts like yourself.
Full serve is good choice.
However, saving a few pennies at self-serve is a policy I support. Fiscal restraint, Jill.
Ah, self-serve.
Yes, and I can generate a cash flow economy.
And pump your own.
And on the other hand,
get full serve or self-serve.
2 very solid positions.
The people's choice.
At Union 76.
Time is running out, so drop everything. And hurry on down to Toyota's Drop Everything sales event.
Wherever you see this sign, Toyota dealers are trying to sell 14,000 trucks, but they're going fast because they really do want a deal. So drop everything. And come on down. Trucks are at 82 sticker prices, and there are special incentives from Toyota to dealers that could save you big money. It's Toyota's big Drop Everything sales event, so drop everything and come on down. Oh!
When I play basketball, I know my shoes. But now I'm into tennis, and Foot Locker has all the top-named sports shoes, all sizes, too. When I asked my Foot Locker salesman, I found out he knows tennis shoes like I know basketball shoes, because he's a pro, too.
They feel good, right?
Oh, they're great. I'll take them.
Foot Locker sales pros. Experts even the experts look up to.
Go get them, Will.
Thank you, Ted.
Experts even the experts look up to.
Foot Locker.
This is dedicated to all the people who hate their cars a few weeks after they buy them. Fortunately, there is a car that people can love and respect. The Isuzu
are being nurtured on our playing fields and our gymnasiums all across California. Champions of all sizes, all colors, all faiths. Champions not in the traditional sense, but champions who seek self-improvement, who welcome helpful criticism, who find satisfaction in knowing that they have done the very best they can do, that they have given everything they have to give. Their goals are seldom shaped by hopes of Olympic gold or professional athletic status. These are our young student athletes, enjoying what for nearly 70 years has been a rich and purposeful California tradition. This is part and parcel of a superior educational system, an integral factor in the moral and physical development of our young people. High school sports, a legacy well entrenched in the California spirit. The California Interscholastic Federation, or the CIF as it's generally known, is an important partner in this legacy. Together with school boards and the California public, the CIF helps to ensure that these important activities will be available to generations yet to come. Whatever the sport, whatever the level of skill, whatever the ethnic heritage of the athlete, the CIF has succeeded in providing equal athletic opportunities for student athletes, and in providing for many students an unequaled forum to develop moral character, self-confidence, and mental discipline. Although football and basketball continue to be the most popular sports in our 1,200 high schools, it's no less exciting to observe the grace and the beauty of the gymnast and the swimmer. The beauty of youngsters excelling in the sport of their choice is more than gratifying to even the occasional spectator. The fan, too, absorbs the undeniable motivation of these youngsters, a motivation that propels them to succeed as productive citizens, to leadership positions in the careers of their choice. These are notable youngsters. They play for neither fame nor fortune. They play for the thrill of competing, to win or lose, and they continue to learn the lessons that will carry them through the personal difficulties yet to be encountered. These champions are the tradition. They are the spirit. They are our very future. Our champions rely on the most critical segment of the California high school sports tradition, the California public. Never before in its long history has the CIF recognized a greater need for public support of interscholastic athletics. You can help to keep the tradition alive by attending high school events in your community and by expressing your gratitude to school administrators, athletic directors, and coaches. Our champions are all winners. By their very involvement in activities which require concentration, dedication, quick thinking, and continual physical and mental development, they are unknowingly molding themselves for bright, productive futures. Great traditions such as high school sports are seldom built overnight. Traditions, like teenagers, require careful nurturing, sound supervision. They grow slowly, and like the seasons, go through transition and change, surging forward, then receding, only to begin again in renewed determination to achieve a reachable goal. The CIF, to many a name synonymous with high school sports, recognizes that social, economic, political occurrences will affect the stability of interscholastic athletic programs. But through economic richness and economic poverty, the California Interscholastic Federation continues its work, knowing the invaluable rewards of early participation in athletics and realizing that such a rich tradition will at times be threatened, but never eroded. The CIF salutes the 320,000 young student athletes of California, as well as their families, fans, and the thousands of volunteer workers whose time and dedication soundly ensure the continuance of one of California's greatest legacies.
When I played
7 at the half, I don't believe that. I think O'Dowd has to come out and establish its poise and get back and do what it does best.
Well, Holloway showed that. He started off very, very tight, I thought. He had some in-close shots that he was really banging up there, and I normally would put him away. I think he ended up with 12 points. The second quarter, at the end of the first quarter, the second quarter, he relaxed and he was much more effective around the basket. I thought Ronzoni did a good job. I think that O'Dowd will relax. I think that you know, the jitters are over now. They're playing for the championship. Yes. and they're a championship team, and it's a very, very well-coached team. But I think it's going to be a real good second half.
Because of Crenshaw's ability in the first half, I think it has had an effect on O'Dowd's confidence.
Well, you know, when you play that kind of a defense and you're as quick as Crenshaw and as good as Crenshaw, it's going to take a little confidence away. I thought they hurried their passing. I thought they hurried their shooting. And I think that it's just a question of their relaxing, O'Dowd.
You talk about hurrying the shooting. We're going to find out just how much they did have to hurry that shooting, because the stats are coming up in the first half, and here with them, Barry Tompkins.
Well, thank you, Mike. And I have to say, Danny, I really agree with what Mike had said, and that is that this one is not over by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, you and I had the feeling that toward the end of the first half, the momentum of the game was really changing a little bit, or at least the tempo of the game. Let's take a look at some of the numbers from the first half. And Holloway, of course, the leading scorer by a long shot. That's perhaps one of the problems. He's not getting much help from his friends.
That's true, Barry. And Eric Holloway, to me, has had a quiet 12. He scored a lot of points around a basket and has shot his free throws well. But I think that Ronzoni and Testa, each with 4, are going to have to pick it up a little bit. He's going to need a little help if O'Dowd's going to overcome the 7-point deficit.
On the other side of the coin, of course, Williams, the dominant player in the game. I think that's a fair thing to say. Pete Newell agreeing very much with that. 15 points, and his shooting was simply brilliant. Has a lovely touch. Bragg with 5 points, two of those baskets rather, coming on slam dunks. Lockridge showing a good touch also from the outside with 4. Scott with 4. And a little bit of help from the bench, which Crenshaw has not gotten with great consistency this year. The team statistics also pretty much indicative of the way the scoreboard shows.
Yeah, I think one of the key stats right there is that, you know, both teams have committed the same number of turnovers and had the same number of rebounds. But the field goal percentage, look at the way O'Dowd is shooting compared to the way Crenshaw. Of course, Crenshaw's had a lot of dunks and a lot of balls around the basket, but O'Dowd's going to have to pick it up a little bit and shoot the ball a little bit better.
O'Dowd also getting to the free throw line 14 times, and Crenshaw getting there only 5 times in the first half, so that also could be a factor. Still plenty of basketball left to go, believe me. These are the finals, the boys' Division I championships. Bragging rights for the state of California. We'll be back with the conclusion right after this. 32-25 ball game here as we await the start of the second half. Crenshaw really did start things out playing the kind of basketball that they wanted to play, but again, really did have the feeling that things might have started to change toward the end of the first half, Dan.
Crenshaw had a big first quarter. They had 19 points in the first quarter, had their running game going, got a few dunks. Bishop O'Dowd did come back a little bit to close the gap, but I think the critical element of the first half was the last minute and a half. Crenshaw tried to run some plays and just couldn't get the ball to fall, and Bishop O'Dowd made a little run at him and closed the gap from 12 to 7.
And that's the way it stands right now. Those 2 free throws, as we mentioned, with 12 seconds to go in the first half by Ron Testa, could, as we look down the road, really have an important effect on the outcome of this ball game.
I think Bishop O'Dowd has to come out in the start of the second half. It's critical to see if they can score the first basket. They need to get back in this game, get the momentum flowing in their direction, and if they can get the first score, get back in their defense, and force a turnover or a missed shot, maybe they can get the game going their way.
I do think it is significant also that O'Dowd came into this game as the team with the reputation for having a longer bench, and yet Crenshaw really has probably gotten more help off the bench than O'Dowd has so far tonight.
Crenshaw's had good help from the bench, and that's true. O'Dowd does play a lot of players, and unbeknownst to us and maybe to a lot of the viewers, Crenshaw has a lot of good players sitting on that bench, and they've come off and played very well.
No question about it. In fact, I can't emphasize enough, and admittedly, I don't see a lot of high school basketball all year long, but the caliber of play here is absolutely terrific.
Well, they did get the tap. Now let's see if O'Dowd can get the first one down, and Crenshaw back in their zone.
Ronzoni outside, back up top for Moss. This is Wallace trying to force it underneath for Holloway. And Holloway, there still wasn't a whistle, actually. Holloway could have gotten up, but when he did, he traveled.
Yeah, you can't get up. The ball's on the ground. Holloway should have looked to make the pass from the ground. As soon as you get up, you establish a pivot foot, and you're called for walking.
So Crenshaw will come the other way with an opportunity to make the first basket of the second half. This is Lockridge. Looks inside and gets inside to Bragg.
And that's exactly what Bishop O'Dowd did not need to happen. Bragg gets an inside shot. The lead goes up to 9.
This is Wallace, 21, starts inside. He's cut off at the pass by John Williams for Ronzoni. Now back to Wallace, 21. This is Ronzoni inside to Holloway, gets a step and has it.
Nice pass by Ronzoni. Strong inside move by Eric Holloway, who now has 14 points.
Lockridge starts the baseline. Ronzoni cuts him off. Now Scott back up top for Lockridge. Now to Hassan. Back to Lockridge, swinging around for Scott. Scott starts to the baseline. He gets cut off. Back up for Williams.
Crenshaw showing some poise. They're going to try to run their offense, not try to get rattled. Let's run our plays and see if we can get a good shot. Now, there's the right guy with the ball.
Williams, the jumper, it won't go, but he is fouled. That'll put him to the line for 2.
Good patience by Crenshaw that time. They did get the ball in the hands. There you see Mike Phelps, who's either complaining on the call or talking to his players, but they did get the ball to the right player, John Williams, who missed a turnaround jumper, but will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 shots.
But you know, it was really a pro move. He protected the ball with his body, and if he wasn't going to make the shot, he was going to get fouled, and that's exactly what happened. I like him. Puts me in the great majority.
Right. I'm sure a lot of people do. He's in a little slump. He's missed his last 3 shots from the floor after making 8 straight, and has now missed one from the line. Now he gets back in the groove. 1 for 2. Lead up to 8.
Inbounds pass comes. Ronzoni to the basket with the left hand. Can't get it to go. O'Dowd's going to have to make those. That was an easy percentage shot. Here's Scott. Blind pass. Fast handed away by Wallace. Scott gets it back. He tries it. Won't go. And the rebound finally comes down to Moss.
Kevin Moss, a good rebounder. He has 3 or 4 rebounds in the game. And O'Dowd needs to get their break going and needs to get some baskets.
Ronzoni double team. Good defense by Crenshaw. And there's the open man. Moss can't get it to go. Tries it a second time. Short both times. And now Crenshaw can run. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Hassan pulls up. It's short. Won't go. Rebound Wallace. Wallace jumps over his own man.
That was a pretty good move. Jumped right over Ronzoni. And O'Dowd did get back on defense. They're doing a much better job of stopping the transition.
Backdoor Holloway off the good pass from Wallace. He's got it.
Well, Holloway's a pretty good player in his own right. He could score around the basket. He's shown a lot of big-time moves in there.
16 in the ball game for Holloway. It ties him for high point honors with Williams. Here's a backdoor play and a fine pass, but Bragg couldn't get the ball to fall. Lockridge gave him the perfect pass. And this time getting it away again is Lockridge. Lockridge been a key player in this game. A good defensive play at the other end, and a foul is going to be called. And it's going to be called on Wallace. That will be an unpopular foul.
Tough call by the official. Here you're going to see in the transition the ball in the air. Well, here you're going to see the interception by Lockridge. Now watch him make the pass up the floor. And let's see if there is a foul. Actually, both players are going for the ball, but they're going to call a foul on number 21, Craig Wallace.
They say that he touched Williams before Williams impeded his path to the ball, and I think it probably is a fair call.
You almost had to call a foul. If you didn't, Crenshaw would have picked the ball up and scored, because they did have some players there at the offensive end, but you can't let a collision of that magnitude go without any call.
We've talked a little bit about Lockridge, too. He's playing very well at both ends of the floor. Here's Williams into the lane, forces it up. A whistle blows. A foul is going to be called against Williams.
Pretty good defense by Bishop O'Dowd. Here's Mike Phelps. Now watch Williams take the ball to the basket. Misses the shot, but let's see, someone inside will get pretty good position. And O'Dowd did have good position, and Williams just bowled him over. It looked like it was Kevin Moss.
Shaw in the ball game now for Ronzoni. Gets to the baseline, and are we going to get a goaltending? No, it's a good clean block by Williams.
Oh yeah, that was a very good block. I don't think Ronzoni didn't know what hit him. Here he took it inside. Watch John Williams come from the weak side, and he gets all ball and knocks it out of bounds.
Perfect
Back to live
block.
action.
Holloway with the lead in.
Well, they can't stop Holloway. Holloway has now got 8. I think that's his 18th point of the game, Barry, and he's high scorer for both teams.
And they are getting the ball inside consistently. Here's another turnover for Crenshaw. 2-on-2. And a foul is going to be called away from the ball, I believe. Now they call it a turnover. Turn the ball over. There was a collision, tremendous collision between Smith and Shaw and Scott.
You're right, Barry. There was a collision away from the ball, but the official felt that the turnover was caused prior to the collision or at the same time. Bishop O'Dowd, in the meantime, has cut the Crenshaw lead to 35-31 with 4:41 to play in the third quarter. So Bishop O'Dowd's, they've come out and did what they had to do, and they're right back in this one.
Crenshaw's gotten a little bit sloppy here in the last couple of minutes. Lockridge guarded by Shaw for Hassan. Try to go underneath. Another turnover.
That was great weak side help, and too bad they threw the ball away, but great weak side help by Kevin Moss.
We've had 5 turnovers in a row, now 6 turnovers in a row. And this is Ronzoni, and he throws up a brick that goes through.
Watch this transition, though.
Williams was open. The pass couldn't get to him. He had to chase it down. Shaw caught up with it. And I think it's about time for a timeout by one of the coaches here. Things are getting a little bit ragtag.
There's Mike Phelps. That was a great shot by Tony Ronzoni. I don't know if we'll get a chance to look at that shot. There's Mike Phelps, who's walking up and down. Here you're going to see John Williams with the ball. This was the foul that was called on number 25, Brian Shaw. They called him for a blocking foul, and it'll be out of bounds underneath for Crenshaw. O'Dowd still playing man-to-man. They've been man-to-man the whole game.
That's really a case of dancing with what brung you. And there's another turnover by Crenshaw. Not a lot of those turnovers are forced. Shaw with a jumper. He can't get the roll. Rebound batted around. Foul underneath going to be called on Testa. Game is getting a little sloppy.
Well, it is getting a little sloppy. There's been some turnovers. But I think Crenshaw has really lost a lot of opportunities. They have not taken care of the basketball. And Bishop O'Dowd has converted some of their breakaways. They have not converted all of them.
Meantime, almost in an instant, it's a 2-point ball game.
It wasn't too long ago that Crenshaw had a 12-point lead. Looked like they're going to walk away with this one.
Underneath, backdoor Williams, great effort.
Great pass inside, and he had good position and just floated it on the glass for the score.
This is Moss, looks inside to Holloway, has position again. He's hammered by Bragg. And he'll go to the line.
Eric Holloway with a double clutcher inside. Watch him take this ball in strong. Look at him clutch it, and he almost makes it. That was quite an effort.
Tremendous effort by Holloway.
Holloway's very impressive around the basket.
His free throw try. Nowhere near.
Yeah, what I like about it, he stepped off the line. He knew he shot one bad. Sometimes that helps you. Go back up there and make it.
So we have a timeout. Both coaches, I think, will want to settle down their troops at this juncture. 4-point ball game. Crenshaw on top as they have been all the way. We'll be back.
Assistant caterer reporting for duty. Welcome.
Well, we talked about the fact that the game is getting a little bit sloppy, and let's get a good indication as to just how sloppy it has become. 6 turnovers apiece in the first half, and now we played 4 minutes and 45 seconds in the second half, and look at the turnovers.
Both teams have committed almost as many as they have in the first half combined.
Eric Holloway at the line. Second try, up and good. And it is a 3-point game at 37-34. Substitutions coming on now. Mark McCaffrey comes on.
And he's only a sophomore, Barry, 6'6". And I'm sure you're going to be hearing a lot from him in the years to come.
Crucial point here because they are giving Eric Holloway a blow.
Let's see if they get the ball to Williams now. Williams has a smaller, inexperienced man on him. And Crenshaw should try to take advantage of that if they can on this possession.
Scott worked on by Wallace. Back up for Lockridge. He's guarded by Shaw now.
And they're looking for him.
And there he is.
And that's good basketball. He just missed the shot, but he'll put the second one, almost puts it in and doesn't.
Third try, however, is up and good. That time by number 31, Michael Richardson.
That's smart basketball. They did get the ball to the player that had the inexperienced man on him.
Here's Shaw coming the other way now. Shaw gets into the lane, puts it up with the left hand, and has it.
That was a great shot by Brian Shaw. Switched hands in midair, floated it on the glass with the left hand. And O'Dowd's back to 3 again.
Again, I can't emphasize enough the caliber of play here. Very high. Matter of fact, that could be said not only about this game here in Division I, but in all the games, and not only amongst the boys, but certainly amongst the girls as well.
Yeah, we've had good games in every ball game down here, and a lot of close games. I don't think there were really any blowouts in all of the games, and the girls certainly played extremely well, as did the boys.
Scott with a jumper. It's a little bit short, and Moss has the rebound over the outstretched arms of Richardson. So O'Dowd can cut it to 1. Here's Wallace for Shaw. Way outside now. Tomas. Back to Shaw. Shaw's given O'Dowd a lift off the bench. O'Dowd being patient here.
Pretty good shot.
Moss takes the jumper and can't quite get the roll, but underneath McCaffrey with a rebound, grab foul. Going to be called on McCaffrey. I think that Chris Gray, I beg your pardon, was not McCaffrey, it was Chris Gray.
Now Chris Gray went after the rebound, made a pretty good effort, but was called for the foul. And Bishop O'Dowd, number 31, Michael Richardson, will go to the free throw line shooting 1 and a bonus. 39-36, a minute and 31. There's Willie West in the white suit just sitting down.
Well, in the first half, it was Crenshaw that got in foul trouble early. Now here in the second half, it is O'Dowd. Crenshaw will shoot from here on out. And that's a long way. 9.5 minutes remaining in the ballgame. Richardson's second try is his first miss. Shaw ahead now for Gray. Now back to Shaw. Moss thinks better of it this time and retrieving it as Wallace. Back for Shaw at the point. And backdoor, good effort. McCaffrey the sophomore has it.
Great pass by Shaw. Great effort by McCaffrey who put the ball in. Bishop O'Dowd's cut it to 2. Both these teams might be here again next year, Barry. We're seeing a lot of juniors and sophomores.
You're not kidding. Lockridge is picked clean by Wallace, and we got a racehorse game. Gray to the basket, can't get it to go, but a whistle blows, a foul is called. Gray very unhappy with himself for missing that layup.
There's Mike Phelps. Here you're going to see number 34, Chris Gray. Watch him bring it in and switch with the right. Watch him bring it to the right hand. Right here makes a pretty good move, and I'm sure he's upset he missed the shot. Lawbridge came from the rear and fouled him, Barry, but he made a pretty good move going in there.
And Gray, a hat trick from the free throw line. Second try can cut the lead to 1. And he can't get this one to go. So he's 0 for 4 from the line.
That was a big sequence right there.
Eric Wilkinson comes the other way now. In the ball game, another junior at guard for Crenshaw. O'Dowd playing solid defense here with 35 seconds left. The whistle blows, and we're
going to get a 5-second call, Barry. And certainly Crenshaw, when they're dribbling the ball and you're guarded within 6 feet, you have to penetrate to the basket. But even if you're guarded, you still have to pass the ball or pick it up, and he just kept dribbling with it. And it was a 5-second call. And all 5-second calls, the ball goes to the defense. So let's see what Bishop O'Dowd does now with 24 seconds to go.
They seem to be content to play for the one shot here. And now Brian Shaw will start the offense with 15 seconds remaining. Still looking inside. Here's Shaw. 10 seconds left now. Wallace for Moss. Back for Shaw. 5 seconds left. They're going to have to get something going real quick. Wallace pulls up, forced a shot, but did draw the foul.
And that was a foul on John Williams. Not a foul that I'm sure Willie West is very happy about with 2 seconds to play in the third quarter.
And a shot that really, for all intent, was a bad percentage shot.
There's Mike Phelps motioning his players to get back away from the free throw lane to stop any kind of a long fast break or a long shot by Crenshaw.
And this time Wallace gets it to fall.
And I'm sure Mike Phelps has to be very happy. Eric Holloway's been out of the game. And they can make this all even going into the fourth quarter if this free throw drops.
Second one does not drop, and they just can't seem to get the big break here. And that is the end of the third quarter. So we have 8 minutes of basketball left and a 1-point game. And I would have to say right at this point, this is a grab bag. We'll be back with the final 8 minutes right after this. Don't go away. We're coming back. This quarter of basketball remaining in a 1-point game. What do you think, Dan?
I think it's going to go right down to the wire, Barry. There you see the shooting statistics. Bishop O'Dowd still only shooting 38%, only down 1 going into the fourth quarter, and they have an opportunity to get Ronzoni and Holloway back in the game.
And it looks right at the moment as though Coach Mike Phelps is going to keep Holloway. No, now he comes up off the bench. I was going to say it looked as though he's going to keep him on the bench. What he has now actually is a pretty fresh lineup. Holloway's been on the bench for about 4 minutes. He will keep Shaw in the game. Ronzoni is at a rest.
Well, Brian Shaw's done a very good job coming off the bench, and he's playing very well, so Mike's just going to let him go out and play. O'Dowd has to be pretty happy. Down 1 after being down 12 late in the second quarter. And you have to think the momentum has gone their way since really late in the second quarter.
Holloway controls the tap, and now O'Dowd can take the lead for what I believe will be the first time in the ball game.
And once you have the lead in any basketball game, you can control the tempo and control the defense a lot better.
Underneath Holloway, they've been doing it all night.
Great pass by Tony Ronzoni. Got the ball inside. Holloway put it off the glass. Now let's see the next time down the floor if O'Dowd tries to bring Crenshaw out of their zone.
Jump hook by Williams. Too hard. He gets it back. Tries it again and has it.
You have to screen Williams out, Barry. Once he misses, you can't let him go back to the boards.
Holloway by himself at the other end. And a foul. And it counts.
Watch the pass by Ronzoni again to Holloway. He knows Williams is coming. Two-handed duck. Foul by Williams. Here's Ronzoni again, another angle. I almost thought he hung on the rim a little bit, but very emphatic stuff. And a foul. And O'Dowd with a 1-point lead, stretching it to 2. 7 for 9 from the floor tonight for Eric Holloway.
Can't convert the three-point play, however. 1-point O'Dowd lead. First time they've been ahead. Ball batted away. O'Dowd's defense has improved with its scoring touch.
Well, it's improved since they've gotten themselves back in the game. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm, and they're just... Now, that was a kick. It should be called.
Have to look at Ronzoni as one of the catalysts here, too. Holloway will have the scoring statistics, but Ronzoni's passing has been brilliant.
Well, he's a great passer, and he shows outstanding quickness and has played a marvelous second half.
And he's really given up on his own scoring. Now, coming into the game, he was the second leading scorer, averaging just a little bit less, actually, than Holloway was. Holloway averaging 13-3 and Ronzoni 12-6, and we're going to have a turnover.
And that was caused by Tony Ronzoni. Ronzoni went for the steal, didn't get it, but caused the turnover.
14th turnover.
Now, let's see how O'Dowd plays this. First time they've been ahead in the game. Well, Crenshaw switched. Let's see if they have switched. No, they're still back in their zone.
Crenshaw playing a 1-2-2 zone when they came down this time. And here's Ronzoni. He'll take the open shot. Has it.
Crenshaw may need a timeout.
This is Lockridge with Ronzoni in his face. Lockridge has been very quiet since early in the ball game. Hassan won't take it. Back for Scott. He will. And does. Ronzoni burns it down across the timeline now.
Oh, you have to like Ronzoni. I mean, he plays with a lot of confidence.
There's a backdoor pass for Holloway. Holloway didn't make the cut that Shaw expected he would. So we'll come the other way, and now Crenshaw can take the lead again.
Well, this is the way the final game should be. 1-point game, 5 minutes and 50 seconds to play.
Willie West, who's normally very quiet and reserved, up off the Crenshaw bench and barking instructions to his players, one of which is take a timeout.
I think he yelled timeout the last time down. They didn't hear him. They went ahead and made the basket.
That's what brought him off the bench, I'm sure. 5:47 remaining in the ball game. 45-44 ball game now. Bishop O'Dowd has gone in front. It is anybody's guess coming down the stretch. It's really comparable, although Crenshaw has gotten considerably sloppier, I should say, in the second half. Both teams now in the bonus shooting so far as free throws are concerned, and that will even things out. So this game, for all intent, flat-footed, dead even right now.
Barry, let's see how Crenshaw reacts after the timeout. You have to almost feel that John Williams is going to get the basketball. They need to go to him, and he has it right there.
Turnaround jumper, has it.
Smart basketball. Let's go to our best player down the stretch. He's the one that should get the ball. At least he should touch it every time down the floor.
22 for Williams, and I would have to think the other way the same is going to be true for Holloway.
You look for Holloway or Ronzoni right over the bench.
Good defensive effort, too, by Hassan to get a hand on that ball. Those are the kinds of things that fire up a team. And, of course, in high school basketball, emotion plays such an important part.
Of course, Hassan's only a junior, too, so Crenshaw's going to have Hassan and Williams both back.
Here's Ronzoni for Holloway. Holloway got a hand on the ball, but lost control. It goes back to Wallace. And there's Holloway again. They cannot stop him from behind. Williams does. Shaw gets it, throws it away. But throws it away off the fingertips of a Crenshaw player.
Actually, John Williams that last time was in a wrong position, but made the block. Here you're going to see the pass into Holloway. Watch Williams from the rear. Holloway did not know he was there. Get the block.
Wallace outside for Ronzoni in the corner. Ronzoni's been the catalyst. Here's Shaw, cross court. Ronzoni, he'll take it. Short, won't go. Rebound comes down to Bragg. And here's Williams, master of his own fate, into the lane, pulls up with a jumper, won't go off the front rim, but there for the rebound is Bragg. He can't get it to fall, and Wallace comes away with it at the other end. We have an injured player down. It's Hassan. Give that rebound to Testa, not Wallace. He got the outlet pass to Wallace. Hassan, the injured player. Here's another look.
Here's the shot coming off the rim right here. Now you're going to see, it looks like Lockridge going back up. Misses the layup. Looked like a shot he could put in. Then the scramble for the ball. Bishop O'Dowd comes out with it and initiates the break. And Hassan goes down. There's your trophies right there for the winners and the runner-up. And in fact, those may be the two trophies for each of the champions, the girls champion and the boys champion in retrospect, Barry. Those are big basketball.
They were saying that Willie West was saying that he can't keep most trophies in the trophy case at school because they have a habit of disappearing. He said, but if this one goes in there, if this one is won, it will go in the trophy case. Carefully guarded, I trust. Turnaround jumper Holloway before the shot. The whistle is called. Whistle is blown, and a foul is going to be called the other way.
I think, Barry, what they called 3 seconds. And the ball goes inside. They're going to call Holloway for 3 seconds, and I think he makes a great play right here. Watch him get the ball all in one motion and shoot it, but the official called 3 seconds prior to the shot.
First time that call's been made. Now Crenshaw can increase to 3. Hassan gets into the lane. He's blocked by Testa. Foul before the shot.
I don't think they're going to count that shot. No, it's no basket. And that was a foul on number 22, Ron Testa. There's Willie West. Willie's pretty relaxed right now. Willie, it's a one-point game with 4 minutes to play. Let's get into this one.
I want to tell you, that is calm. There's a guy who's going to be employed in this business for a long time. This is Shaw now, 46-45 ball game. Ronzoni back for Shaw. Over to Mas. To Shaw to Ronzoni. Underneath this time, Testa from the weak side.
Great pass by Tony Ronzoni again. Nice shot by Testa, and Ronzoni's really finding the holes in the defense with his passing.
Hassan takes the jumper. One of the few shots he's attempted. Holloway has the rebound. Outlet pass for Shaw. Ahead for Ronzoni. Ronzoni himself gets into the lane, tried to go behind his back to Testa. Will come the other way with Scott.
Mike Phelps very unhappy on that last play. Good inside move by John Williams. He makes the basket, and he's fouled by number 25, Brian Shaw. That play by Ronzoni may have cost him 4 points, Barry.
24 for Williams. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 25.
Here's John Williams right here, drawing the foul by Shaw and banking it off the glass.
And O'Dowd would like to talk this one over. Mike Phelps will talk to his team and see what he can do about getting a little composure. 48-47 ball game, 3 minutes, 34 seconds remain, and Williams will go to the line to try to stretch the lead to 2. We'll be back for the conclusion. So Williams will try for his 25th point. He can't quite get the roll. Rebound banged around in there. A lot of bodies flying in there. Trying to see if they called a foul, but they didn't. Testa really got clobbered underneath. Full court pressure now by Crenshaw. And the inbound pass. And And finally across the timeline comes O'Dowd.
Let's see how O'Dowd plays this, Barry. I still think at one point in the game they're going to bring it out, but I guess they're scoring around a basket so easy that they're going to keep shooting it.
Holloway threw that one up a little hard. Ronzoni gets away with the scrambling rebound. He misses his shot. Now Lockridge comes the other way. 3-on-1. To the basket is Richardson. 50-47. Again, O'Dowd has gotten a little bit sloppy here.
Well, especially when they've come down and been in pretty good position, they have gotten sloppy, and now they need to score.
Three-point ball game at 50-47. Crenshaw back on top after having lost the lead, and John Williams fast hands that ball away. Wallace comes back on now for O'Dowd, and he will replace. Let me see who he did replace.
Someone went out fast.
Ronzoni is who went out. Here's Holloway underneath. A good inbounds pass. Holloway missed the shot. And now we got a 2-on-1 with Scott and a fine defensive play by Wallace. Excellent defensive play by Wallace.
Yeah, watch Wallace come from behind now. He comes all the way down and just deflects the ball out of bounds. Almost makes a clean steal.
Lockridge will inbound for Crenshaw. He's going to have to call a timeout. Didn't think he could get it in inside the 5-second limit. Willie West up off the bench, and he's not very happy about things here. So he'll talk it over. They will inbound the ball with a 3-point lead, and most important, the ball. 2:37 remaining in the ball game. 50-47. Crenshaw leads it. We'll be back right after this commercial word.
What an outfit.
So we are back with a 50-47 ball game and 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining of that ball game. Crenshaw now with an opportunity to really make things uncomfortable for O'Dowd.
That's true, Barry. I think Bishop O'Dowd had their chance. They were up 2 or 3 with the ball. Unfortunately, Tony Ronzoni, who's played a marvelous game, turned it over a couple times, and Crenshaw cashed in. But now Crenshaw in the lead, and when you're in the lead, as we said before, you can control the tempo, and the other team has to come to you.
So that is the situation. Crenshaw will inbounds. 5 points at this juncture could be very tough to make up.
Well, O'Dowd defensively has kind of tightened their belt and has come after him a little bit. They need to cause a turnover right now or get a missed shot and convert, because they're down 3 with only 2.5 minutes to play in the game.
Lockridge to inbound, does so. Now it's back up top for Scott. See if Crenshaw tries to use a little of the clock here, spread the court out a little bit perhaps. They're not really doing that. This is Richardson for Scott.
Well, they need to get the ball in 33's hands as much as they can, because at this point in the game, you probably want Williams shooting the basketball if it's anywhere near around the basket. Like right here, they almost had him, and they're doing a good job, though, of keeping their patience. They have the lead. There's no need to hurry.
Holloway is literally painted on John Williams right now. This is Richardson. He's given Crenshaw a big lift off the bench tonight. Into the lane, Lockridge leans in, has it.
Tough shot. No call. Good position that time by number 24, Kevin Moss, but no call.
And almost another turnover down this end. Now they finally get it ahead, and Wallace brings it across the timeline. 5-point ball game, 52-47. Backdoor pass is intercepted by Williams. Ahead for Richardson to the basket. He cannot get the roll, but he is fouled by Brian Shaw.
That was a great pass by John Williams. Here you're going to see the play inside. Williams is going to get the interception, lead the fast break, and then get the ball to number 31, Michael Richardson, and he's fouled from behind. Look at the push right there, and he almost makes the basket.
So Michael Richardson, the senior, who is getting a considerable amount of playing time, he was not really even listed as amongst the top 8 players for Crenshaw, and he's really helped out. 3 of 3 at the line for him. 4 of 4.
That shows you, Barry, how deep this Crenshaw team really is, as is O'Dowd. But O'Dowd's bench was much more heralded going into this game. But it's been the Crenshaw bench that's come out and really made the difference in tonight's game. That's 10 points for a player who's really not listed, as you said, in the top 8.
Second try for Richardson is in and out, no good. And the rebound batted around and saved for a moment. Yes, it is saved by Moss. It was Holloway who made the save, and that would have been inbounded by Crenshaw had Holloway have not made that save. So it's a 6-point ball game with 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Holloway underneath has this one. And at the other end, Crenshaw throws it away, and Willie West will not be at all happy with that.
And of course, no one touched the basketball, so Bishop O'Dowd should get the ball out of bounds under their own basket because no one did touch it. Now let's see if they bring it all the way down the other end.
Well, there, in fact, is a play to remember.
And there's Willie West. He cannot be too happy about that because Bishop O'Dowd just cut the lead to 4 and have an opportunity to bring it to 2.
They have used an inbounds pass where they just will go immediately to Holloway. This time they don't do it. And Moss will take the jumper, buries it with the left hand. So we're back to a 2-point ball game. And now you have the feeling that free throws will decide the outcome. And O'Dowd, or rather Crenshaw, can pretty much be the masters of their own fate.
All right, now O'Dowd's going to have to come out. You better come out within 6 feet to guard him, otherwise you're going to get yourself a technical. You have to come out within a guarding distance, and that's 6 feet.
And Scott gets into the lane, throws it away, but I believe it's off. And O'Dowd players, no, it's not. Simply threw it away.
And there's Mike Phelps.
Crenshaw desperately trying to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory here.
They absolutely are. They had the lead. They spread the court out. And the referee was right on the play and called that a deflection and a Bishop O'Dowd out of bounds. So Bishop O'Dowd, Barry, at this point in the game with 44 seconds to play, 2 down, can bring it down and tie it up.
Well, this is a case of who to thunk it. Just a couple of minutes ago, with 1 minute and 25 seconds, Crenshaw had a 6-point lead.
Well, Barry, this is the state tournament and the state championship game, so befittingly, it should end up as a wire photo finish. It should not. No one should run away with this game. And Crenshaw had their opportunity. Right now, they're going to have to hold on and fight for victory.
It is amazing, too. It's been that way in virtually every game. It was that way in the boys' Division II game. We had a very close game in the game you saw a little bit earlier in the girls' Division I game. That game, for a large part of it, was 2 and 3 points. Very close ball game. Right up and down the line, almost all the games. So the caliber of competition here in the state of California, truly amazing.
Do you get the impression that we're running late by these credits that are showing up? Or?
That's right. It's one of those you have to say goodnight before you get off the air. Might add, always a pleasure to work with a pro like Mike Walden. Mike has been around a long time and understands this game and knows this game.
And so does Pete Newell. Pete obviously has been involved in basketball for a long period of time. I won't really say how long, but he certainly understands the game and gives a lot of thoughtful insights.
So we're back to action here with 38 seconds left. And here is Wallace, slapped away beautifully on the defensive end by Williams. What a play.
Where did he come from?
That was virtually a one-on-one situation. I never thought that he would block the shot. Williams finally, can't say he threw that one away. Lockridge just had the iron hands.
Bishop O'Dowd really did not react very fast enough to make a foul. But Crenshaw just gave the ball right back. What a great block by Williams. But O'Dowd's still in the ball game. They've got 21 seconds to get a basket.
And now let's see if they look to the man who has brung them this far. All the way to the basket. Moss tries to force it up. He traveled.
I thought that was a very good call. Watch Moss bring it all the way in. Let's see if he did walk. He comes to a jump stop and then kind of shuffles right there. And of course it was John Williams hovering over him, intimidate him. 13 seconds to play. And Bishop O'Dowd's down 2, 53-51. They need to foul right away. Don't let any time expire. As soon as the ball comes in, make a foul.
Dennis Mnuchin handing us an interesting note here that this game, even though the lead has changed several times, has not been tied at all. Right now, for a quick comment, let's go up to Mike Walden.
I would have to say how impressed I have been with the highly honed skills of these players, and I mean both girls and boys. And I would have to say in summation that California high school basketball just keeps getting better and better and better. These are kids still in high school, some underclassmen.
Well, Mike, as you say, they are getting better, and I think this competition is going to make our high school basketball throughout the state that much better because it's going to give them more objective than they have now.
Okay, Barry.
That really is true, Mike. I completely agree with you. I thought perhaps it was just the fact that I haven't seen that much high school basketball, maybe that I've been away from it for almost a year, but the caliber of play here is just tremendous.
I mean, it's better since when you played, Barry?
Since when I played. I'll tell you what, when I played, they still had peach baskets up there.
Well, now that Ronzoni comes back in the game for Bishop O'Dowd. O'Dowd needs to make a quick foul. Like right now. Don't foul.
They didn't go
right
down.
now. They need to make a foul.
And finally they do, but they waited quite a while. They let 5 seconds tick off the clock.
Well, what was going through their mind, I'm sure that John Williams had the ball for a certain period of time, and they didn't want to foul Williams, but you can't let any time expire. Here's Williams making the pass up the floor, and finally, I believe it's Holloway that's going to make the foul, and Mike Phelps now will try to take a timeout to try to freeze the shooter a little bit and let number 14, Ellis Scott, think about this free throw.
So again, I really don't know what you can say in conclusion. Pete Newell, we were speculating down here, there's probably 8 or 9 kids that we've been watching tonight who could conceivably go on and play college basketball.
Well, I'm sure. But, you know, this game, you know, you boil it down, is Williams. You know, he's made the key baskets when O'Dowd did get ahead, when it looked like they may spread a little. He made the key hoops for Crenshaw, got him back in, and then that defensive play down at the other end when O'Dowd had that open shot about 8 feet from the hoop was just a tremendous defensive play. Not only did he block the shot, but he came up with the block, and he's just done it all. I mean, it's hard to go to any other player in this game.
Mike, you don't think that college coaches are drooling over the potentiality of a John Williams on their roster, do you?
I just told Pete Newell I wondered if Williams might go hardship. I mean hardship to a 4-year college as of this June.
Well, I tell you, he looks every bit the ball player. In fact, that's what we were saying before. He looks that way when he's not even dressed in a uniform. He still looks like a ball player.
And you know, Barry, the impressive thing about him is and about both teams, they have great composure on the floor. I mean, both teams, I think, not only perform well, but conducted themselves well. There's a lot of sportsmanship that is going out here. Both teams have played hard, and we saw that in the girls' game too, and throughout the whole day. So I think that's a very big part of the California Interscholastic Federation, that not only do you play hard, but let's conduct ourselves in the right manner.
I know that Williams is listed at 6'7". I think he is close to 6'9". He looks that way to me.
He does look big. He's very broad. Interesting thing, too, I think, Dan, is that Williams is really not playing out of position, and that might not be true of Holloway.
Well, that's true. Holloway is playing around a basket in college. That's probably where he will play. John Williams can play all over the court, Barry. And what you said, Mike, is true. You know, UCLA listed Walton at 6'11" for a long time, and I always thought when we played against him, he was closer to about 7'2". And they always listed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at about 7 feet. He was closer to 7'4". Here's Willie West.
So this game now will come down to the free throw of Ellis Scott, and ironically, this will be the first trip to the free throw line for Ellis Scott, and that could be in large part why Mike Phelps would like to have him think about it for a good long while. He's taken 2 timeouts here. So here's the ball game. Scott goes to the line, 53-51 ball game. It is short on the front rim. Holloway has the rebound. Outlet pass to Wallace, 5 seconds left. Ronzoni picks it up. Somebody's gonna have to shoot it in a hurry. Ronzoni does. He's got it. Tie ball game. We go to overtime. What a play by Ronzoni. To gamble, they had to take a crapshoot defensively. They did. They went for the ball. It gave Ronzoni a lane to the basket. He got it up just as he got to the basket. We have some microphone problems on Dan Belwamity, so Pete Newell, talk us through this replay if you'd be so kind.
Well, you know, when he misses his shot, I think Crenshaw does a good job. They don't, you know, they try to put a pressure in the ball all the way up the court. They put a pressure on there. They put a pressure on here. They put a pressure there. But they just didn't get the ball. And that could have been a 3-point play. Actually, he slid by the defensive man, but it was a great play by Ronzoni.
There's another angle. He's bringing the ball up the floor. If John Williams also almost makes the interception, Ronzoni makes a great recovery. Watch him bring it in and slide to the middle, and almost, as Pete said, convert a three. He almost was fouled. That could have been a three-point play.
I thought it may be for a minute, but if he was fouled, he was been, barely touched.
We could have history here tonight. It might be the first state championship game that started on a Saturday and wound up on Sunday.
That's true.
That is the truth. 11:45 here, 15 minutes before the witching hour.
Oh,
incidentally, Lockridge seems to me to have made a very good play there at the point that he really had to either jump out at Lockridge or figure the time was going to run out. He stepped away from it. It would have been a three-point play if he stepped into it. So we go to overtime.
And of course, in high school basketball, the overtime period is 3 minutes long. So we should see an exciting three here for Crenshaw and Bishop O'Dowd. Almost a fitting way to end it. That's how evenly matched these two teams are.
It really is another case of nobody's going to lose it. It's just a case of one team winning it. Holloway controls the tip for O'Dowd. This is Moss. Ronzoni to Holloway, and Holloway tries to force it up, but a whistle blows before, and a foul's called on Williams. That is the fourth on John Williams.
I believe, excuse me, Barry, but it almost looked like to me that they called that foul on Eric Holloway for pushing off. Now let's take another look at it inside and see if maybe you can't see it. We might have missed it, but they did call Eric Holloway for a push.
They did, in fact. You're right, and that will put Williams at the line at the other end. Only the second foul on Holloway, and then, of course, Williams still has three. And he converts the free throw. So a one-point lead now for Crenshaw.
John Williams with a bundle of points. He must be near 27 or 8 at this point.
25 for him so far. Second try is up. That one is no good, but Williams controls the rebound.
Great quickness and ball handling skills.
Scott drives against Ronzoni. Gives it up top now for Lockridge. Lockridge back way out for Scott. Scott guarded closely by Ronzoni. Here's Richardson, and he's getting an awful lot of playing time. Willie West obviously has found a combination he likes and has stayed with it most of the second half. Clock not yet a factor. 2 minutes, 15 seconds, and we are going to get a whistle, and a timeout is the call here. Willie West wants to talk this over with his team. He ate up a little bit of the clock, and he has a one-point lead. Coach Newell, what's your strategy here?
Well, I think they'll spread out like they did before Crenshaw and try to keep the middle open, and either the man with the ball go to the hoop, or they'll try to flash Williams in there. He's so strong and so agile that if you put him in a 1-1 situation, it's going to be very difficult for O'Dowd to handle him.
That's been pretty much the case at both ends, actually. Holloway hasn't been handled too well at the other end either. He has 23 points. Williams sitting here with 25 points. Let me put you in the coaching strategy of Mike Phelps, Dan.
Well, I think if you're Mike Phelps right now, there's no need to panic. You're only down 1 point. There's still 2 minutes and 13 seconds to play. Come out and let's play solid man-to-man defense. And Holloway just has to do a big defensive job on Williams. I don't think it's any secret where the ball will end up. And Holloway just has to kind of pull up the belt strap and get in there and play some solid, strong defense. And Bishop O'Dowd's guards have to contain the Crenshaw guards. So right now, let's just, if you're O'Dowd, let's just go out and play him.
Holloway can be somewhat aggressive. He has no foul problems with only 2. Williams, likewise, with just 3 fouls.
I think Mike Phelps made a very good coaching play by putting Tony Ronzoni back in the ball game at about that 1-minute mark of the 4th quarter. After he made a couple of plays that did not please him earlier, he put Tony back in and he responded with a clutch shot.
He has made the big plays, both positive and negative, in this ball game. So again, Crenshaw trying to use a little bit of the clock. They have a 1-point lead. Now the man that they want to have the ball does so. That is Williams. He gives it up for Lockridge at the top.
They're in their delay game right now. What they're trying to do, as Pete Newell suggested, was that they're spreading the court out, and they're going to race the little clock, and they're going to try to flash maybe flash the big guy in the middle a little bit. So now here they have an opportunity to go to the basket.
Lockridge, actually, and he gave it up for Bragg, and Bragg was fouled before he could get to the shot. So he will go to the line for 1-and-1.
Ronzoni made a good defensive play. It was not his man, and he came hard for the ball, but made a little contact and caused the foul. But pretty good offense and pretty good sequence that time by Crenshaw.
4th foul on Ronzoni. And Mike Phelps will just let him go. Holloway has the rebound off the missed free throw. So now we come the other way, and O'Dowd can take the lead.
Got to make your free throws, Barry. Just like a turnover when you miss a free throw.
This is Moss outside with 1:25 remaining in the ball game. This is the overtime period. Ended at 53-all in regulation.
Good pass.
Backdoor, and a fine play by Williams. Williams was actually playing behind Holloway. Saved the ball. It's on the ground. We'll have a jump ball. You have just got to credit John Williams. You can't give him enough credit.
Well, John Williams makes a great block. Here it is, right? The ball goes inside. Now watch the block by Williams. And not only the block, but the save. He tries to knock it off one of the O'Dowd players, and Ronzoni ends up with it on the ground and makes a pretty good play to get a jump ball. I think Williams, can he do it all, Barry?
I'll tell you. Wish I could think of another way of saying that, but well, there's another thing he can do. And Crenshaw comes the other way now with a 1-point lead and 1 minute remaining in the overtime.
And they're back in their delay. They run like a 1-2-2 delay to spread the court out. Almost a steal by Ronzoni. Holloway's going to have to play Williams a little stronger. He's off him too much.
Williams finally gives it up now for Scott. Scott guarded by Ronzoni. Starts into the lane. Ronzoni cuts him off. Back for Williams. That's the man they want to have the ball. Now to Scott.
Barry, O'Dowd's going to have to look to make some kind of a foul. I'm not too sure if you want to foul this fella, but you're at 33 seconds.
So with 33 seconds, Williams will go to the line.
And Williams is on the line, Barry, and he's got a number 2 up. He said that should be a 2-shot foul. You don't think these players are very sophisticated. He's calling for a 2-shot foul.
Williams 50% from the line, 3 of 6. He has a 1-point lead, and he will have a 1-and-1 situation, even though he would like to have 2.
Guys, if I may just interject here in case some of the viewers are just joining us along the network and they don't know about some of the other results. Let's give credit in the girls Division III to Colfax, a 63-52 winner over Marshall. In the boys Division III, Cloverdale the winner, 71-64 over Crossroads. In the girls Division II, Anderson 42, Lorena 39. Boys Division II, Menlo 53, Santa Clara 51. John Pay looking very, very good for Menlo. And in girls Division I, Buena 50, Grant 43. So that brings you up to date on what's been happening here this long day of basketball from the sports arena in Los Angeles.
And a lot of good basketball, Mike, too, being played, as we mentioned, in all divisions by both boys and girls. We talk about how the caliber of basketball that we're watching here has improved. I think the caliber right up and down the line has improved greatly.
Certainly has. The women's basketball has certainly improved over the last 3 or 4 years. And as Mike Walden said, I'm going to harken back to John Pay, who will be going to Stanford next year, and a very heralded football player. In the mold of a John Elway. But I'll tell you, after watching him play basketball out here tonight, I'm not too sure that Coach Tom Davis at Stanford may not be asking him to play a little round ball, because he has a lot of skill and can really pass the ball and shoot it. And he shoots his free throws underhanded.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. He made every one, too, I think.
Rick Barry, wherever he is, has got to be smiling tonight.
That's right. So Williams goes to the line. 3 of 6 on the night, a 1-point lead for his team. He's got the first. 33 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock remaining in overtime.
Well, this is a big free throw. This puts him on the odd point.
He has it. Get the ball in the hands of the player that you really trust. That's what happened. And Williams responded with 2 free throws, and now down with a 3-point lead. And 33, or rather Crenshaw with a 3-point lead and 33 seconds remaining in the overtime period.
Bishop O'Dowd needs to get this one inbounded, because Crenshaw will press him in the backcourt, and they need to get it down the floor and in Holloway's hands and see if they can take it straight to the hoop.
Pete Duell and Dan and Barry, remember, about 20 years ago when everyone in America felt the only brand of high school basketball was played back in the Midwest. Indiana #1, Illinois #2. But hey, I'll put the California brand against those two as of what I've seen here tonight.
I think so too, and you really lived through those days too. I'm sure at one point in your life you probably thought that as well.
Absolutely, because the Sweet 16, when they had the Sweet 16 back in Illinois at the old George Huff Gym on the Illinois campus, hey, that was the thing. Well, now they have gone to divisions in the state of Illinois, and they don't have the 16 teams in the finals. They have it down to 8, but it's still big back there. But California is big as well.
This in recent times, of course, only the 3rd state championships that have been held here in the state of California. They have been held back in years past, but they were renewed in 1981. The champion in 1981 was none other than Bishop O'Dowd. O'Dowd lost to Washington, who was the Northern California representative last year, by 1 point in the championship game up there.
Oh, and this is a big interception right here.
There's a major interception right there, and this ball game, for all intent, is going to be over. They're going to have to foul Williams. They do, and this one could all but be history.
Well, they shouldn't quite celebrate yet, because John's going to have to make the free throws. If he misses, if Bishop O'Dowd is still only down 3 with 29 seconds. But of course, if he makes both of these, it's going to be a difficult task for O'Dowd to come back.
So Williams, the first, is good.
I don't think he had any doubt about it, did he?
When he's had to make them, he's made them. 28 points for John Williams. Is there any doubt as to who the MVP in this game is?
There's 29.
And that is about the nail in the coffin. 25 seconds remaining. Brian Smith dribbles through the entire Crenshaw team, has to give it up for Testa, who has the basket. And it's a 3-point game. And O'Dowd immediately will have to foul. Down court, ahead of the pack is Bragg to the basket. He's tackled.
And he makes the shot.
And he made the shot, and it will count. And that's a fitting climax to this one.
That was a great effort by Gregory Bragg. Crenshaw makes a pretty good play. They go length of the court. And, of course, who passed it? None other than John Williams. Here's Gregory Bragg going to take it all the way down. Intentional foul. But watch him slide it in off the glass.
Somehow managed to get that ball up. I thought he was going to be tackled before he ever got to the basket. This place about to come apart here. With 14 seconds left, it's a 5-point ball game, and Bragg can't convert it and make it a 6-point ball game. Will come the other way. Lanzoni turns it over with 10 seconds left.
Still a great season by O'Dowd. We'll say the same thing we did before, but whenever you go as the 33-1 and win as many games as Bishop O'Dowd did, certainly they have nothing to be ashamed of. Super season.
You've done something right, obviously. Crenshaw, on the other hand, just with the 2 losses, both 1-point losses, one to Banning, one to Bosco Tech. Fictitious name, I'm sure.
Both had large teams win in the Division I sections. Buena for the girls and Crenshaw for the boys. So they're both at large teams rather win it.
We talked about some of the talent that Willie West gets at Crenshaw High School. He was saying that he teaches a PE class, and a kid came up to him in PE class and said, I was the most valuable player in the state of Nebraska. Willie West said he saw him play, and he said he wasn't the most valuable player in the PE class.
Here's the long pass again. And this is going to be, this is the play where he was fouled from the rear and just goes ahead and slides it off the glass, and was pushed, I should say. First thing he said when he got up, I know he looked a little mad. He said, did it go in? And his teammate said, yes. Oh, okay.
Then he wasn't mad anymore.
He wasn't mad anymore.
So with 10 seconds left, that is exactly what's left. There's 10 ticks of the clock and a 5-point lead enjoyed by Crenshaw. This one is in the books. And Lockridge will try to dribble this one away. And he is grabbed by Holloway. So it will be extended for a little bit longer. And Mike, I think this one is now going to go into tomorrow.
History has been made. Yes, indeed.
Lockridge to the line. 6 points for him tonight, and there is number 7. And it makes it a 6-point lead for Crenshaw. Second try by Lockridge, up and good. 7-point ball game. Here's Shaw. Baseball pass intercepted by Williams. Williams will come the other way. 1 second left. That is it. I don't think that one's going to count, though.
Pretty good way to end it, though.
It's the only fitting way to end it.
That's right.
So congratulations to Willie West and the Crenshaw Cougars, the victors over Bishop O'Dowd, and the celebrating goes on here in Los Angeles. For Pete Newell, Barry Tompkins, and Dan Belwamini, this is Mike Walden saying so long and good night from the Sports Arena in Los Angeles at the 1983 California State Basketball Championships.